All right, we're going to go ahead and do example 1 on the solving inequalities notes. So what you should do is under where you finished doing your notes, write the word examples, put the number 1, and then write this example out and put it right here. And you can pause the video if you need to while you do that, because I'm going to keep talking. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and solve this thing. So looking back at the notes that you should have taken, we are going to solve this pretty much like an equation. There's just a couple of extra rules that we'll get to. Okay, so all right, well, let's look at how would we solve this if it was an equation. So the first thing we're going to look at is do we need to simplify on both sides? It does not look like we need to because these are not like terms, and obviously a 23 does not need to be simplified. So we're going to go on to our next step of seeing if we need to get the variable only on one side. If we look here, the W is only on one side, so we don't need to do that either. Okay, so now next we look at, is there anything being added or subtracted to the variable? So here's the variable. Oh, we got a 10 being added to it. So how do we get rid of that 10? Very good. We're going to subtract 10 from here and 10 from here. And yeah. All right. So no more 10W, no more 10s, that is. And 2W is less than or equal to 13. All right. And then the next step says that we should multiply or divide. It also says, if you look at the new step 4 that you have, to look at this coefficient. What's next to the variable? Is that negative? It's not, so we don't need to worry about that right this second. We're just going to go ahead and divide, and everything should be all good. So go ahead and divide by 2, and divide by 2. And so W is less than or equal to 6.5. So there's the solution. Now we also want to often want to graph the inequality on a number line. So here's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to draw a nice little number line here. What I usually do is I don't write all the numbers. 6.5 is positive, so what I usually do is I just put 0 somewhere. And since it's a positive number, 0 is going to be off to the left a little bit. And then let's put 6 and 7. We know that 6.5 is going to be right in between. Also, looking back at your notes, we have to decide two things. Number 1, is this going to be an open or closed circle? Number 2, which way are we going to shade? Are we going to shade to the left or are we going to shade to the right? Okay, and if we look back at your notes, a less than or equal to, that equal to puts means that we have a closed circle. So we're going to have a closed circle, and a less than means we're going to be shading to the left, just like Beyonce told us to. Okay, if you ever forget which way you're supposed to shade, look at, if we were going to make this into an arrow, which way would it face? It would face to the left, and the greater than would be to the right. So there's a good, easy little trick to remember, hey, which way do I shade? And then the open and close circle, well, you're just going to have to memorize that. All right, so we're going to go to where 6.5 is, and we're going to put a closed circle, and we're going to shade to the left. Isn't that beautiful? That is some of my best artwork. All right, and that is it for example number 1.